Welcome to another episode of Knobi Cooks. Today we are making dough. So for this dough, which I mainly use as a pizza dough, you'll need a large bowl, a kitchen scale, some sugar, some whole grain flour, some white flour, a mixer for kneading your dough, some semolina, some salt, a bit of water, some olive oil and a bit of dried yeast. Instead of dried yeast, you can also use fresh yeast, it's up to you. And as a whole grain flour, I'm using dinkel flour here, but you can use any type of whole grain flour you want to. And if you don't want to use any whole grain flour for your dough, well, that's also fine. Simply replace the whole grain flour with white flour. There will be a difference between the two doughs though. So the one with whole grain flour in it will be more rustic and also more difficult to knead. The one with only white flour in it, well, this one will basically be your run-of-the-mill pizza dough. As you can see, I'm simply adding one dry ingredient after the other into the bowl. Don't be super finicky with the weight of any old ingredient. Just take the weights I give you as a rough ballpark estimate for this dough. This amount of ingredients will be sufficient for 2 large pizzas. If you don't like to include sugar in your dough, you can leave it out. However, in my opinion, it provides a nice boost for your dough and makes it way more fluffy than without sugar. Also, the dough I'm preparing here will rest overnight in my fridge. But if you happen to need your pizza dough ASAP, well then simply add a little extra sugar to it. And instead of cold water, use warm water. This will boost your pizza dough and will be ready in 30 to 60 minutes. And now that we have added all our dry ingredients, let's mix them before adding any liquid to them. In the next step, simply pour in some olive oil and afterwards some water and then start kneading your dough. When it comes to the amount of oil you need to add to your dough, just ballpark it. And don't be shy to add a little extra oil to your dough. It makes your dough smoother and easier to knead. However, when it comes to the water, be careful to not add too much water to the dough right away. If you add too much water to your dough, the dough will get very sticky and you most likely will need to add some extra flour to it afterwards. And if you do this often enough, your dough will simply grow and grow and grow and you'll end up with enough dough for 3 pizzas or more. So simply do as I'm doing in this video, add the water bit by bit, knead your dough, and if there's no water in your bowl and your dough is still too dry, simply add a little more water to it. Oh, and I kind of mentioned it before, but use cold water if you have time. This way you can put your dough into the fridge. If you put your dough into the fridge overnight, the dough will be extra smooth and extra tasty for your pizza. Keep kneading your dough and add water to it little by little until a big lump of dough forms in your bowl. Once that happens, now the time has come to knead your dough for real. I recommend you knead your dough for at least 2 to 5 minutes. This way your dough quality can be greatly improved. For those of you out there who want to make their dough using fresh yeast, here's a secret trick. Take a small bowl, put the yeast into it and add a teaspoon of honey to it. And then start stirring. After a short amount of time, the yeast will simply liquefy. And then it can be easily added to the other ingredients. The first time I saw this, it really blew my mind. Try it out. Our dough here is done. Now it's time to put a lid onto the bowl and then let the dough rest for a day in the fridge. I hope you liked this episode of Knobi Cooks. This video is just a companion video to my mountaineer style pizza video, so go check that one out too. Oh, and leave a comment how you like this dough. See you and goodbye.